Chris for HobbyKing.com, and today is the day. The Trifecta is finally here. For those that have been following it, I know we leaked a lot of videos and pictures a long time ago, well over a year ago, of its development. If you guys have been waiting for it, it is finally here. So if you don't know what the Trifecta is, it is a portable, collapsible tricopter. Now, tricopter or multi-rotor are highly agile, and they're fantastic, and they're extremely stable. They fly a little bit different from quads as far as, you know, sweeping into the turns and stuff, but it all depends on how you set it up. What is awesome about the Trifecta is that it is a great cross-platform multi-rotor, and by cross-platform, I mean you can set it up right here for hardcore aerobatics, you can set it up for FPV, or you can even set it up with our HK Pilot Mini, which gives you a UAV follow me type of applications as well. So let's go ahead and dive through all of these, as well as what makes this frame so awesome and why it took us so long to finally bring it to market. So I'm holding it right here, and as you can tell, it's pretty small. Now this is the frame that can be flown just like it is like a clean version. Basically just motors, flight controller, some batteries, and just take it out there and fly aerobatics with it. Highly portable, you can see it. Matter of fact, I've got a ruler right here, and I'll put my thumb right at 150 millimeters, and you can see in its collapse state, it's 150 millimeters by 80 millimeters wide. So highly portable, pretty small in its size. But what's really cool is in its open state, it's nearly 300 millimeters in its wide open state, which creates a really stable platform and gives you a lot of lifting ability to be able to pick up things such as a Mobius or a GoPro, GPSs, telemetry radios, FPV transmitters. So let me go ahead and open this up, and we'll show you how it works. So first thing is the arms sweep forward, and you can hear that lock sound. I'll do it on this side, and what that is this little spring-loaded pin. If I push down on that pin, it unlocks it and moves it forward, and in the forward motion, it's locked, it won't come backwards. So it's got a pin release in the forward state. Now the landing gear just comes down and locks in the downward position, and on the rear, basically you just grab it and pull it out, and you can hear that snap, and it has two spring-loaded locks that will allow that to move forward, and it just comes back into the lock state. There you go, and now it's opened up, and its wheelbase is nearly 300 millimeters, 295 millimeters, which opens up a wide range of motors and props. We'll go over here in a second. So let me go ahead and roll this frame on over, and we will talk about all the provisions that we've added to this frame. Now, on the bottom, first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and open up the bottom. I've actually removed the screw. It's normally screwed in. But you're going to notice a built-in power distribution board. Now this is our HobbyKing power distribution board that's based on the same size and mounting as most FCs now, which would be like the CC3D, the NAs, the micro APMs, which is 36 millimeters with mounting at 30.5 millimeters. So the power distribution board is built in right there, and it allows the wires to come in underneath the board, come up from the bottom, and soldered from the top. Extremely clean installation on that, as well as allows you to use some other option boards that are available, as well as coming available on this as well. We'll go ahead and dive into those as well. So I'll go ahead and put that back on. Now you notice right there would normally be the screw right in here, and then here is the loop, which allows the battery to be affixed to the bottom. Now I also didn't show you on the back, it has the rear landing skid. You loosen up this little thumb screw, you drop the skid down, and you tighten up that screw, and that gives you plenty of ground clearance to clearance the battery on the bottom itself. Now, like I was mentioning, the loop goes right here, and the battery goes right on the bottom. You can take a look, and that is how that works. Now, moving on back, you're going to notice this little platform on the bottom. What this is designed for is either a telemetry radio and or a FPV transmitter. Now the transmitter would go right in here. You can just double side tape it, and it has an antenna support that comes right on out here. It allows the antenna to come on down, and a little zip tie notch right in there. So that is the mount for your FPV or your telemetry radio, which tries to get it away from everything else as much as possible. And obviously on such a small frame, it's difficult, so we've got it as far away as possible. You can even mount your receiver back here if you wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and roll this frame on over, and we're going to take a look at some of the other provisions. One other thing I want to note right here on the bottom, it was designed for the slot to have application with two ESCs, either the Afro 12 or the Slim itself, and it has provisions right in here for the zip ties to lock in, and we'll hold that on up. You can take a look. The zip tie locks in so it doesn't slide around on your arm for either Afros and or the Slims, and so that works right on there. Standardized mounting right here will take 15 up to 19 millimeter right in there for different motor applications, so you can pretty much pick and choose on those, and we'll go through some of the recommended ones that we like with this frame. Now moving towards the inside of this, we've got a huge flight control bay right on the inside, and it's got a really nice big flat mounting area, as well as it comes with some mounting options. This is designed perfect for those 30.5 mounting FCs, as well as our HK Pilot Mini, which is an APM variant or APM compatible on that. And so that mounts right in here. Right on the top side right of here, we have a GPS mount which uses standardized mounting, and you can see how that works right on there. It allows the GPS to bolt right onto the top. Right on back from here, you can put either your receiver, a few other things, and or right down here. So it's got plenty of provisions for you to go ahead and mount everything from telemetry to FPV, flight controller, GPS, receiver, built-in power distribution board, and or you remove that and you can use a power sensor. You just have to solder up the wires directly on that. Now, let's move to the front of this frame. Excuse me one sec, I need some water. A lot of information on this multi-rotor itself. So on the front of this, we wanted to make it very adaptable, whether you're using it for FPV, UAV, or just sport flying. So on the front, it has a little mounting bracket that goes right in here, and it allows you to put one or two different mounts onto the front. This one is designed for the GoPro style action cam, and that just goes right onto that, and it has two little screws with brass inserts, and there you go. You've got it set up for this type of thing where you've got a GoPro mounted to the front. The other mount on it right here is for the Mobius, and what it does is it comes with a little 1/4x20, and this goes right onto the front right there, and it allows you to mount a Mobius. It's also perfect for FPV. You can use double-sided tape and have an isolated FPV mount onto the front, flown it both ways, and or a Mobius and an FPV camera onto the top if you don't like flying FPV with your Mobius. And I've got an example of that one set up right there, and that is how that works right there. Really nice isolation mount for the Mobius, and then you can put FPV onto the top itself. All right, some of the other features that are included into the box, like I mentioned, it has the adapter plate for the HK Pilot Mini, which is a APM variant. You can see that, how that fits right into that frame, nice and clean. I'll turn it around. You can see how the wiring cabling all goes. And into the center of the fuselage, it has lots of provisions and holes that allow the wiring to come up through the bottom. Really nice clean onto the inside, and channels that stop the wires from interacting with the tail when it moves forward, and doesn't bind up or have any issues with that moving on forward. So the other things that we have with it is this little pad right here. With added weight, or depending on how you set this up, the battery needs to be able to shift to get proper center of gravity. In this one, where it just has a Mobius on it, you've got plenty of room on there. But you're going to notice, because of the tail, the way that it slides out, we've got a little bit of a gap right in here where there's no support for the battery. So what this does is allow you to use different sizes of batteries up to 2200, but the recommended, of course, is the 1400 multi-star, 1300 pack right in there. And this block of foam just goes right in there, and it just adds some back support for that battery. You don't need it, especially if you're flying it clean in an acro. The battery's going to be shifted forward, but if you've got a lot of weight on the front, FPV gear, GoPro, you're going to slide that battery slightly back, so you've got that pad if you need it into there as well. Comes with some nice gyro mounting tape that allows you to put the flight controller right in here, and that's pretty much it. I mean, that's a full walkthrough on this frame. To collapse this thing down, I'll just go ahead and show you. You just tuck the landing skids up, you push the two buttons, those roll on back, you retract the tail skid, and that goes on up there, and you just squeeze in these two sides, shove it there, and there you are, back to 150 millimeters, highly portable. You can easily put that into a backpack. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the setups that I've run on this and tested on it, and the ones that I would absolutely recommend. Now, what is really nice is that it was designed around the Turnigy MG 9-gram servos. It has a full metal drivetrain. Let me go ahead and turn this around. So it's a direct gear-to-gear mesh, really crisp on that tail. And you will need, it's not included in the kit, the Turnigy MG servo, and it is under the related items, so definitely make sure you pick one of those up. But it's a really nice solid gear drivetrain. So some of the other features, let's talk about the motors itself. The best motors that I've found with this that I would absolutely recommend are the 2206 Baby Beast 2150 kV. that allows you to run those HQ Gen Fan 645 props, and it is absolutely ballistically insane. Tons of lifting power, highly agile, and with the 1400 racing pack, give about 7 minutes of flight time. And that's all out. So even if you were to docile it or fly it less aggressively, you'd probably even get more out of it. But I'm pretty aggressive on my flying. Now, you can also run with these motors 7-inch props if you got a little more heavier weight. But you can also run, if you want to run and pick up even more weight, you can run all the way up to the 2209s on this. Of course, you can run, 2212s and be crazy on it. But the cool thing about this frame is you can see these are 8-inch props, and it actually clearances 8-inch props. Though I wouldn't recommend it, I would definitely stick with 7-inch props or 6-inch props because I've actually found that to be the most efficient for this this frame itself. So 2209s or 2206s. If you're going to fly a sport and aerobatic, definitely this setup is crazy on the power, highly agile. If you want to pick up more weight, you can run something like this with 8-inch or 7-inch props or 7-inch props on those. But those would definitely be the recommended choices. I've flown, like I said, on both. They both work extremely well, but this is my preferred setup for sure. Now, the frame itself weighs about 160 grams just for the frame itself. You start adding some of the extra little provisions, of course, the weight is going to go up. But for a 300 millimeter tricopter, 160 grams, that is absolutely nothing. It's extremely light in its size. And we mentioned, obviously, of course, its portability. Guys, this is the Trifecta. It is an absolutely amazing tricopter. It's an amazing multi-rotor. And to be honest with you, I didn't have much experience with tricopters. I was always a quad, a hex type of guy. And in developing this and flying this and running with different setups on this, I can truly tell you this is my go-to multi-rotor because of how fun it is to fly, especially line of sight, aerobatics. I cannot believe how stable it is and how much yaw authority you get with a tricopter. These things are absolutely amazing. If you haven't flown a tri, pick one of these things up. You absolutely have to do it. The construction of this frame is a glass-filled nylon, so it's extremely strong and durable. You don't have to worry about its integrity. It's all molded, so there's no, it's not one of these type of frames that are just FR4 cut, screwed together. You know what I mean? That is a nice, clean, fully molded, everything fits together, proper multi-rotor. You definitely need to check this out. It's up on the new items page. And we have an awesome product video of us out flying this multi-rotor. So definitely check that out if you got any questions as far as its ability to fly, its stability. We've got it all into those videos as well. Definitely check it out. It's up on the new items page. And as always, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will see you guys next time.